Okay, now welcome to Kylie Armstrong, who's joining us again in India in October. And look, and you've actually been to India a few times now, haven't you? You've attended the Delhi
Yeah,
Fair several times, and you've also joined us as a coach last March, which was great.
yeah, yeah. So this will be my third trip. The first trip was as an attendee, and as you said last time, was a coach. And I think it's something that I like coming back to because every time you go, there's something different, and you're just building those relationships with suppliers and also the sourcing agents that you've got available there, and some of the other suppliers. So I've got a couple of um, orders in play at the moment where I have engaged SabSource. They're working with me on one of my products, and I'm using CAF to do the freight forwarding. And I'm actually using John in the US to store the product. So it's a bit of a family affair there. All connections made from the trips.
Yeah, I think once you meet the people, you feel a lot more comfortable actually dealing with them as well, once you've seen them and had a chat.
Yeah,
So, do you want to just tell us a little
yeah.
bit about your career path, Kylie, how you actually got into doing all this?
So my background is design. I'm a textile designer by training many years ago, and I've worked designing fabrics for all sorts of companies. But started off in sleepwear and then moved into home textiles. And I was designing bed linen for a major home textiles company in Australia, and I've also worked with companies overseas in the US and in the UK, and selling their products pretty much all over the world into big retailers, and sourcing products from China, India, and Pakistan mainly. And then I had been doing that for a lot of years for other people, and decided it was time I did it for myself.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, so why do you think people should actually join the trip? What do you think is the biggest advantage for people?
Yeah, look, so I've gone to many trade shows in my lifetime, and I just think one of the main benefits is the networking, getting to know other people. So you're not doing it, on your own. So there's people to catch up with, at the fair if you're stuck for ideas or need some feedback, and building connections with not only suppliers but service providers, like I said, with sourcing agents and freight forwarders. You can really go there and meet in person, and if you're well organized, you can do the whole full circle. You can source, get the products off and running with a sourcing agent, and speak to the freight forwarder and and even the 3PL if you're going to the US. So you can meet all those people, make all those connections, and they get to understand your business. You understand how they work, and it can just streamline everything. From my point of view, I'm not a newbie at this, but I'm time poor. So getting a sourcing agent on board to help me with that has been amazing.
Yeah, I think it
Been
does make a
amazing.
difference. And, if people listening haven't heard yet, we actually now have a done for you sourcing service where we have a team of people who can help with different products. So if you send a request through to info at indiasourcing.net, we can actually help you find the right supplier and get you started without having to sort of pour through and try and, think you found someone who's going to do the right product. So that's another thing that we've actually just recently introduced. So now, for personally for you, with coming on the trip, what's it really done, with your business to help you get kick-started? How did you find that made much difference?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It has really made a big difference. As I said, I've already been familiar with sourcing products, but I've never been able to build the relationships like I have. So I can quickly jump on the phone, talk to the supplier, talk to the sourcing agent, talk to the freight forwarder, talk to the 3PL. They're all on the trip. I've never been on a sourcing trip to a trade show ever before where I can have, all the key um, people I need to talk to in my business being there and be able to have conversations with them in person. So
Yeah.
that is awesome. Saves so much time.
It does, yeah. No, and look, with people coming on the trip, what can you actually offer people, to sort of help them along whilst they're on the trip.
Yeah, sure. So, as I said, my background is design, and I've been developing products for retailers all my working life. So I've lived and breathed product. So I can, if you're stuck for ideas, I can help you with that. If you're stuck with how to differentiate, I can help you with that. If there's, as I said, my speciality is textile. So, if you're speaking to a supplier that's got a large MOQ, perhaps there's some things we can do to work around that. For example, one of my products, there was a large MOQ, but I wanted lots of colorways. So we've talked and we used the same warp thread, and we've just changed up the weft so I can meet their MOQs, but I can get differentiation in designs from colorway to colorway. So, just a few of those little tips and tricks. Yeah, but I can help you from a aesthetic side, and just knowing, I've been in the product design game for a long, long time.
Yeah, and I think too, I've seen you in action, and I know somebody said, "Oh, could I walk with you?" And you said, "Provided you walk fast, I'm going. Come with me." And I mean, they came back and they were in awe because they had never seen so much action, I think, and you were
Yeah,
explaining things as you went. So I think having people who can spend some time with you and help you, especially if it's your early days into the sourcing, it can be quite daunting. And I mean, the trade fair is quite big. For those who don't know, there's about 3,500 stalls at this Delhi fair that we go to. So, there is a lot of things to take in, and I think you get a bit, I don't know, just lost with so many things. I know people, we give them a diary, and everyone's coming out and they've got their diary full of business cards. They've got so many products that they potentially, want to go back and look at and maybe move ahead with. So I think, it is really a good trip for people to come on. Now, we've actually got a special code for people who want to come on the trip, the 10th to the 17th of October. And if you want to book a trip, if you use the code Kylie300, you will get $300 off the trip. So that is quite a good saving for people. Now, I mean, to me, there is it's networking, it's socialising, a bit of education, a bit of culture, a bit of fun. I think the trip is great. I'm looking forward to getting out and meeting new people, and I'm sure you are as well, Kylie.
yeah. Look, absolutely. As I said, I'm not a stranger to trade shows. I've been to many in my lifetime, and I think the key is going to them regularly. A once off doesn't make a huge difference, but if you're going regularly, you're building those contacts. You're seeing the new products that are there, and it's just it's a bit of a game changer with the business.
Most definitely. All right, thank you very much for your time, Kylie, and we will see you in 2.5 months or something in India.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks.
Looking forward to it. Thanks.
Bye.